How do you know if you're fat adapted? Are you in ketosis? Is it working for you? I'm gonna give you 5 signs to pay attention to that ensure you're fat adapted without even having to test. Let's do this. Hey Keto Camper, Ben Azadi here, best-selling author of 4 books, and I am the founder of Keto Camp. Here at Keto Camp, we are on a mission to educate, to inspire 1 billion people on planet Earth. We are committed to getting you amazing information about keto fasting, ancient healing strategies every single week. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified of new uploads and when we go live. I love ketosis. You can see it right here on my shirt. I call it the great land of ketosis because you feel like an absolute rock star. Can you test to see if you're fat adapted? Absolutely. And you know, as a matter of fact, at the end of the video, I'll give you some of the best ways to test your ketones and the optimal ranges. But before that, I'm gonna share with you 5 signs to pay attention to know if you're actually fat adapted or not. First things first, fat adaptation is not the same as keto adaptation. Fat adaptation could take place in 7 to 14 days. Keto adaptation takes about 8 to 12 weeks. Fat adaptation means your body's burning fat, you're in ketosis. Keto adaptation means now your mitochondria and your cells in your brain are primed to use ketones as the primary energy source. That takes a little bit longer, but let's talk more about fat adaptation, which you could achieve in the next 7 to 14 days. When we think about the human body, there's about 70 trillion cells inside of the body, but out of those 70 trillion cells, we could only choose 2 sources of fuel. Either we're burning sugar in the form of glucose or burning fat and producing ketones. When your cells are stuck burning sugar, it is highly inflammatory. It'll lead to symptoms. It'll lead to weight gain. It'll age you faster. When I was obese, I was a sugar burner. The comparison of your cells burning sugar is a Mack truck that is speeding through your streets with all this smoke being blasted out of the exhaust pipe. That truck is not healthy for the surrounding environment. When your cells are burning glucose, not healthy for your cellular environment. When you do keto and eat more fat and protein, less carbohydrates, that'll transition into your cells burning fat, and now you're using ketones. I compare that, a cell burning fat, to a Tesla cruising through your streets, much cleaner source of energy versus the truck. So how do you know if you're fat adapted? Let's get into the first sign to pay attention to. The first sign is that you don't need to snack. I mean, how awesome is that? You don't have to rely on that protein shake, that protein bar, that kombucha, that yogurt, whatever it is. Snacking is not healthy. Snacking will age you faster. And when you are fat adapted, now your body is just burning body fat. You're getting energy from your butt, hips, and thighs. No need to snack. It'll hold you over in between your meals, and eventually you could even practice intermittent fasting. The second tip is mental clarity. The reason is because when you're fat adapted, now your body's burning fat and you're keeping your glucose and insulin levels stable. That's important because you're not getting that roller coaster hit of glucose dropping and rising, so you're just more mentally clear, focused, and energized. Plus, beta-hydroxybutyrate, which is one of 3 ketones, has the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier and fuel your brain, and your brain loves fat. It's made of mostly fat. Even babies that are breastfed go in and out of ketosis to help the development of the baby's brain. So mental clarity is going to be an important thing that you want to pay attention to. Number 3 is weight loss. Look, weight loss occurs as a side effect of getting healthy. And when you're fat adapted and in ketosis, you're reducing inflammation and getting healthy. Nobody has a weight problem. When I was obese, I didn't have a weight problem. It is a weight symptom. So ketosis is one of the best ways to reduce inflammation, and a side effect is now your hormones could do a better job, specifically your fat burning hormones, and you start to lose weight. So are you losing weight? That's a sign of fat adaptation. You're burning your body fat. Congratulations. I got 2 more tips here, and then I'm gonna talk about how to test ketones. Before I get to them, if you're getting any value from this video so far, hit the thumbs up button and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. The 4th thing to pay attention to is you skip a meal and you feel better. I always say, if you want to test how healthy your metabolism is, skip a meal and see how you feel. Let's say you are so busy and you just skip lunch and you notice, I actually felt more productive. I felt more energized. I felt better. That's a key sign that you're fat adapted and your body is running on ketones. Your brain is running on ketones. A lot of people have a broken metabolism and they can't even skip a snack because they'll get hangry, they'll get what Dave Asprey calls hyperglycemia, and that's not a fun way to live. So if you skip a meal and feel awful, that's a sign you're not fat adapted, but if you skip a meal and feel great, that's a great sign of fat adaptation. The fifth sign to pay attention to is that your sugar and carb cravings have vanished magically. They're gone. And you're not craving all these sweets and ice creams and donuts and brownies, but instead, you're thinking about your eggs and bacon. You're thinking about that protein shake. You're thinking about a nice piece of ribeye steak or wild-caught fish. That can happen in a short amount of time, and that is a surefire way to understand your body is now fat adapted and you're in ketosis. Now let's say you want to test to know for sure if you're fat adapted. There's a great way to do it. I'm going to give you the optimal ways to do so. When we think about testing ketones, there's 3 ways to test ketones. There's beta hydroxybutyrate in the blood, there's acetoacetate in the urine, and then there's acetone in the breath. I'm not a big fan of urine strips because as the body's actually efficient at now using your fat and ketones, it will not spill out in the urine, giving you a false reading. So let's throw out the urine strips. That's not going to be accurate. But then there's breath. Breath over the years has not been that accurate, but Biosense recently made a great meter for acetone to determine if you're fat adapted and in ketosis. They're great. Go to mybiosense.com, use KetoCamp at checkout for $20 off. We'll also drop a link down below. I'm going to focus on the gold standard of ketone testing, which is beta hydroxybutyrate in the blood. I'm a big fan of Keto Mojo because it gives you both glucose and ketones. So get a Keto Mojo over at ketocampmachine.com. We'll drop a link down below, and here's what you want to test for. The sweet spot for ketones is going to be somewhere between 0.8 and 2.8. Look, we don't want to chase ketones, we want to chase results. Higher ketones are not the goal, just like higher glucose is not the goal. But I believe 0.8 to 2.8 is a good sweet spot. But if you're 0.5 or above on your finger prick, you're in ketosis. Congratulations, you're fat adapted and you're officially verifying that. But the sweet spot, I think, is 0.8 to 2.8. Now, you also want to look at your blood glucose because that's an important marker to look at. I like a fasting glucose between 70 and 90, and then 1 hour after eating a meal, your blood glucose should be below 120, and then 2 hours after eating a meal called postprandial, your glucose should be below 100. If you're hitting all those markers and you're hitting the 5 for 5 for those signs to pay attention to, you're doing great work, and I congratulate you. I have a question for you. Out of the 5 signs to pay attention to, how many are you hitting right now? I'm gonna go over them real quick. No need to snack, mental clarity, weight loss, skip a meal and feel better, and sugar cravings gone. Are you 5 for 5? Are you 3 for 5? Are you 0 for 5? Let me know down below in the comment section so I can see where you're at right now. If this video was helpful, hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button with the little bell so you're notified when we upload a new video or go live. If you want to learn more about keto and how to do this the right way, how to practice keto flexing, etc., hit the video on the screen right there, watch my 10-part series, and I'll see you in that next video.